Budget Minister Dara Celleary.
It's obvious the budget is getting the interest of all the parties of the House. I'm very proud to be able to serve in Cabinet and to present my first budget as Minister for Social Protection and for Rural Community Development agus an Gaeltacht, and I'll deal with both departments separately within my speaking allocation. In the Department of Social Protection, we have secured almost €29 billion in funding for the department for 2026. Over 1.15 billion of that is for new measures. Before I go through the new measures, I want to announce that we will be providing in early December this year a full 100% Christmas bonus to over 1.4 million people at a cost of €370 million. This measure will help people at a critical time of year. It also supports businesses and shops locally right around the country. For many our payments, it is the lifeblood of such businesses. A key part of the measures for next year, I'm pleased to announce that we are providing across-the-board social welfare increases to our pensioners, to people of working age. Core rates will increase by €10, a level which more than matches inflation. The increase of €10 in the standard rate is equivalent this year to about 4.1%, compared to inflation of about 2.7%. For pensions, the increase is 3.5%. However, we know the pressure people are under, and we have provided targeted payments in other areas. The above inflation increases for 2 years in a row again demonstrate our commitment to protect as best as we can the real value of incomes of the people who depend on us. The principal aim for the government and myself in this budget is addressing child poverty. We all know that children in low-income families are especially vulnerable to that poverty. That is why the government has in this budget prioritised over €320 million in measures to alleviate child poverty. Every child should have the opportunity to live a decent life. We are determined to give them that opportunity. Today at Ask and Curler, we are announcing the largest ever increase in the child support payment. Increases of €8 or 16% for children under 12 and €16 or 26% for children aged 12 and over. This will directly benefit about 330,000 children whose parents are in receipt of a social welfare payment. The increases will bring the payments up to €58 per week for a child under 12 and to €78 per week for a child over 12. I'm raising the income threshold for the working family payment by €60, supporting 50,000 low-income working families and 100,000 children. I am extending for the first time the fuel allowance scheme to families in receipt of the working family payment. I'm increasing the rate of the domiciliary care allowance scheme by an additional €20 to €380 per month to support those families who rely on this very important payment. And finally, in association with Minister Foley, I'm very pleased to announce that we'll be extending eligibility for the back-to-school clothing and footwear allowance, subject to the standard means test, to families of preschool children aged 2 and 3. We are keen to progress the issues of extra living costs that are incurred by people with disability and also the barriers that they face in getting employment. These are complex issues, but I've already started the process of establishing a strategic focus network to explore and to develop solutions to address the cost of disability issue. This is a task agreed under the new National Human Rights Strategy for Disabled People, and I intend to complete it quickly in consultation as part of a co-design approach with disabled people and their advocates to bring forward proposals to government in the first half of next year. We're extending access to the Back to Work Family Dividend Scheme to recipients of the blind pension and the disability allowance. I'm ensuring that people who move into employment from disability allowance and blind pension will retain access to fuel allowance for 5 years, which has been a key concern for people trying to move to employment from these schemes. I'm also making changes to the wage subsidy scheme, increasing its rate by €1.20 per hour, adjusting its rate bands and expanding it to new cohorts of people. At Ask and Curler, we are absolutely committed to carers and to removing the means test on carers as a government, and today I'm announcing the largest ever increases in income disregards for carers allowance. €375 for a single person to €1,000 disregard a week, and by €750 for a couple to €2,000 disregard for a week. These changes will mean that even people with relatively high incomes will qualify for a carers payment for the first time. They are evidence of our determination to deliver on our commitment to eliminate the means test over the lifetime of this government. Last Concurder, in association with Minister O'Brien, we are addressing issues and focus on issues of fuel poverty. We are increasing the rate of fuel allowance by €5 per week, the first rate increase for this key support since Budget 2022. In supporting communities around the country, I have made a number of improvements to community employment, to TUAS and to RSS, including broadening access, increasing the top-ups by €5 per weekend, and bringing in €1,000 in materials grant for all CE schemes. Last Concurder, we've relied on evidence-based studies to make targeted increases in those payments that are shown to have the greatest impact in reducing poverty. This budget package is targeted, it is progressive. The lowest income quintiles are benefiting the most. As Minister for the Department of Rural and Community Development and the Gaeltacht, Tartara an Dearfas fágta again, agus ord level, tá ladladú de sé agus a 11 milliún feita agan de fihe sé. Leis seo churfar 1.2 milliún ar fáil don glár forbathe tuatha, 60 milliún don chlár forbathe phobal, agus 159 milliún don réimse chlár na Gaeltacht an Gaelga agus na Nilán. We have secured a very positive outcome in the Department of Rural Community Development in the Gaeltacht. We have a total allocation of €611 million for 2026, which will provide €192 million for the Rural Development Programme, which will provide €260 million for the Community Development Programme, €159 million for the Gaeltacht, Irish Language and Islands Programme area. This builds on the strong investment of recent years. The €192 million allocation for the Rural Development Programme will ensure a combination of sustained investment by government in the social and economic development of rural areas. Our Community Development Programme supports a wide range of schemes and projects that help promote social inclusion and address disadvantage. It also supports schemes that assist all communities, including annual funding for tidy towns groups, shows and funding for the Community Centre Investment Fund. Specifically to the Community Centre Investment Fund, Alaska and Concurder, I am reminded of the part that they play, alongside and being the base of many community hubs during extreme weather events. This is particularly noticed during Storm A1 last January. We have instructed officials to work with colleagues across government departments to prepare a scheme that will see the rollout of generators to local authorities for use during such extreme weather event. This will be funded from the Community Centre Investment Fund, which is a number of measures my department is taking in conjunction with other departments to become more storm resilient. Minister Buttimer will speak later about the community funding, and I'm also delighted to announce that we are recommencing the RAPID programme that was previously in effect in the late noughties with a €5 million capital investment for 2026. Former méadú an súntasach sa míú de chlár na Gaeltacht an Gaelga agus na Nilán. Tioco méadú fiche fin géad ar an látáú ar 153 milliún go dtí 159 milliún de fiche sé arbe sin an bhéadú is mó sa réimse seo le blianta fada anuas. Tá plana le fearúlacha agin chun taú le pobl Gaeltachta agus leis an Gaelga ar an. Agus leis an míú seo. Cintíar go féidir linn dul chun cín súntasach a dhéanamh chun na phlána sin a chur i bhain I fiche sé. Síl me go léir de cath an darfracht tar mór himpel sna teangainis. Agus bhainú méid eán tarva as seo trí investiocht I réimse mínithe ratha agus capala ar an. Alaska Concurder, there's many other things I could speak to. We have sought to do so in recent days, but I now hand over to Minister Dara O'Brien.
Minister O'Brien.